And this next fight here should be a banger. It's in the 145-pound division with Steven Peterson taking on Lucas Alexander. Lucas Alexander, he had a rough debut. He went in there, got finished really quickly, so he's definitely going to be wanting to look better than that. And Steven Peterson had his 2-fight win streak snapped in his last fight, but man, he went in there and put on a great performance against Julian Erosa. It was a war. Erosa's another guy that's been looking good as of late, so it's no shame in that loss. And Peterson is still hanging around in the UFC after, quite a few fights. So he's someone that I think is overachieved. I think when he first made it into the organization, a lot of people thought he was going to only have a couple fights and be out of there. He was a punching bag, but he teamed up with Fortis. I think he became very dedicated and definitely has made improvements with his grappling and his wrestling game and his striking defense. And I think he's a better fighter than when he joined the UFC. And Alexander, he hopefully learned from that first performance in the UFC and just tried to level up here. And when you look at Lucas Alexander, he definitely, I think, looks really good. I think he looks better than he actually is because I don't think he necessarily has that power. But when you let him stay at range, he'll be very active with 3-2s, 1-2s, fast hands. You could definitely tell he's a great athlete. He'll throw nice kicks out there too, good knees. He'll throw combinations and he has speed. So if you stick at range with him, Peterson's going to be in trouble because I think Alexander's going to try to chop the leg. He's going to be faster with the hand. He's going to be able to mix in body attacks with the knees, with the body kicks, maybe even land a head kick or two, and that's where Alexander could be more dangerous. Because I don't think with his hands he necessarily has a ton of power, even though he can connect and be flashy and fast. But I do think if he can land a head kick, obviously anyone could get knocked out with a head kick. But yeah, I mean, I feel like Alexander, once you pressure him, though, and you get on the inside, he's pretty easy to back up. I don't really rate his ability to pull counter that well. And one thing about Steven Peterson is that this guy's a dog. He's going to pressure forward. He's going to be aggressive. He's going to get in your face. And he's going to try to make it a war. So it's going to be interesting to see how Alexander handles that pressure. One thing about Alexander as well is I don't think that he has the best chin. I've seen him get rocked in a few fights, and I do think Peterson has some power. Peterson, kind of stiff. He's a little bit square in his stance, kind of stationary guy. So I do think that Alexander early in the fight could have some success just picking at Alexander or picking at Peterson at range, beating him up a little bit. But I think as the fight goes on, Peterson is going to start to find his range, pressure, get on the inside, be able to land those punches and hooks and, kind of punches and bunches type of shots that he likes to do. And I think he could hurt Alexander. I think that he could mix in the grappling and the wrestling as well, hit some takedowns. I don't think Alexander has great wrestling. His grappling looks decent. I mean, he trains at Fusion XL and definitely an anti-grappler, but he has good get-up game. He seems very hard to control, and he'll just consistently get back up to his feet. But you can take him down. You can hold him against the cage. And if you continuously can do that 3, 4, 5 times, you can make him slow down, and you'll start to make mistakes like give his back. He has been submitted with the rear naked choke before. He got submitted really quickly against Brito with the rear naked choke. So that's happened 2 times to him. And Peterson's a dog, man. Peterson, someone that's going to wrestle. He's going to mix in the grappling in this fight. He's going to have a good game plan. And I think he's going to be trying to get the back and find that rear naked choke. And ultimately, I just feel Peterson has too much experience. Alexander is the better athlete, the better striker at distance. But I think Peterson is going to make it a dog fight. I think he's going to be able to eventually get to the back. And I'm going to say he gets the rear naked choke. So I'm going to go with Steven Peterson via submission.